The worst thing you can do for yourself as a woman is to be free. I'll repeat that. Sorry about my joke. The worst thing you can do as a woman is to be free, and I'll explain what I mean. As a woman, as a consenting adult female, whenever a man approaches you, they want something from you. They don't want to chill and read magazines. They don't want to get to know you for who you are. That just becomes a byproduct of how they can get what they want from you, but they come to you because they want something from you. Now, every man knows that they have to do something that they don't want to do in order to get that thing. They know they have to do something to pay for that thing that they want. Others pay with time, others pay with energy, others pay with attention, others pay with money. But others pay with commitment, but they know that they have to do something in order to get that thing. Now, guys, we can run away from this as much as we want, but the reality is, as a woman, your resource is sex. What men want from you is to get in between your legs. As a man, your resource is commitment. Every woman wants a man who's going to commit to her at the end of the day, so she doesn't grow old and lonely, because that, according to society, is the worst fate of a woman. Now, I think with commitment is that a woman can live without commitment. But the thing about sex is men cannot live without sex. So automatically that puts women at an advantage. Whether we want to admit it or not, whether men want to admit it or not, that puts women at a slight advantage than men. For example, we all know an auntie or a relative who hasn't been married ever in her life and is living her best life. Or even if she's not living her best life, but uyaphileka alone. She doesn't die anyway. Aqhubeka abe happy as if nothing happened. Even though that part of her life does make her sad that it hasn't really happened, but it doesn't stop every other part of her life from flowing. Men, on the other hand, they need a companion. They need a companion. It's like they need a companion. They can't go around life without a woman to live with, a woman to fulfill their needs, not only sexually but also in terms of men can't be alone. Like, men can't chill alone. They need company. They can't sit with themselves. That is one of our super powers as women. We can create a community of people. We can bond with our kids. We can be happy without a man. I'm sorry to say this. I know it sounds wrong, but a woman can be happy without a man. A man cannot. They just can't. If for a long period of time, there are names that are given to them to stigmatize them. They are called imbodla and all of those things. And men live in their ego. They literally, men live in their ego, and egotistically, they need someone to brush that ego. And that person that brushes that ego is usually the woman, not necessarily other men. They need a woman. So I say that to say this. If you're a woman, you get to charge for your resources, just like men get to charge for theirs too. A man will stay with a woman for 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, emfunda, if she is worthy of his commitment. But the same man can't wait for a woman within that time period to have sex with him. He would rather move on to another woman who's more easier. You know why? Because sex is cheap. Women have made their resource so easily accessible that men know that if I don't get it from this one, I'll get it from the next. But men have made their requirements for a commitment so hard that women know that if I leave this guy, maybe the other guy that I'm with, so I need to stay with this guy. Men understand the economics of their worth. They know their worth. Men know that if they give a woman a commitment, automatically that makes them inaccessible to a longer list of women that are there to just stroke his ego, women that will cater to his needs for much less than other women are willing to put out for. So men don't mind staying in the market for as long as possible, because there will always be a woman who is willing to accept him. There will always be a woman to accept him, because there is a long range of quality women, but a short range of quality men. Again, I say that to say, as a woman, knowing that your resource is sex and you give it up so easily, you are making it easier for men to continually play you. Men can take months, years, decades to give you what you want because you are giving him what he needs so freaking easily. My point, if all women rallied together and decided that this is the resource that I have to give and this resource is sacred and I should stop giving it out like it means nothing so men can value it more and actually put a higher price on it, men would value us much more. This is why I am a no sex before marriage advocate. I am Asanda. I have saved my virginity until I'm 21, 9 years old. And as I'm saving my virginity, it's because it's for these reasons. I want to teach other people that it's doable. You can close your legs. You can live without a man. A man, if he comes into your life, that's great. But if he doesn't, it's also okay because either way, you can be happy without him. He, on the other hand, needs you more than you need him. So he has to pay for it. Whether it be with his time, his energy, his money, his commitment, whatever it is that you desire from a man, you can put the price. And women desire commitment. Women desire commitment. I need to say this again and again until you guys understand. Women desire commitment. But women are so jaded by short term. They don't want to be lonely for that short period of time waiting for the right guy, that they succumb to the pressures and they succumb to their urges and they succumb to their emotions by sleeping with men that are not good for them, just so they don't become lonely for those few seconds, those few weeks, those few months while they're in relationships with that same man. Which ultimately mean men win again. Men win again. Men put us in situations where we need to compete and fight for them because they have inadvertently made themselves the prize, even though we are the prize. My point, women, we need to come together and charge for our resources, charge higher for our resources. It only makes logical sense that if we want commitment and a man wants sex, the only thing that matters, the only institution that guarantees that we both get what we are looking for, sex and commitment, is marriage. So it only makes logical sense to wait till marriage. And this is not to shame the women that haven't gotten married or had sex out of marriage or have kids out of marriage. I'm not trying to shame you guys. I'm just trying to point out the facts. Yes, you made a mistake, but now that you're seeing this and this is touching you, this is your time to redeem yourself. This is your time to value yourself more so that the other person can value you too. And I need women to stop blaming men for not knowing their own worth. A woman will say, oh, but men know that men need to stop asking us for sex. Men need to stop having sex out of marriage. Guys, at the end of the day, men, that's what they need from us. If a man needs sex and you have it and you are giving it out for free, why the hell do you think you would say no and say no, save yourself for marriage? It's fine. Disadvantage me so you can gain. They will never say that. They will obviously applaud you for having very low standards so they can give you the bare minimum and still have a bouquet, not a bouquet. What is this word I'm looking for? English, but basically to have a wide selection of the best women. And then only give that commitment to the best, the creme of the top, the creme de la creme. So you are just getting slept with and left, slept with and left, slept with and left because you don't know your worth. You don't know your worth. You deserve better. Start charging more for what's in between your legs. It's too degrading to sit on a freaking bed and look up and have a man come in you, and then that man gives you a taxi fare to go back home. You go back and you go on with your life, and he takes the other woman. That's embarrassing. Come on now. You deserve love. You deserve commitment. You deserve marriage. Start putting that as your requirement. If you don't want to get married, there are women that don't want to get married. I understand. I was one of them too because I saw a lot of toxic marriages. I've seen toxic marriages. So I was like, nah, I don't know. But the more you get older, the more you realize that the alternative is just sad. The alternative is you being with your piece of a father and you just deserve better. Period. Do better, choose better, put higher requirements on your pussy because guess what? You are worthy. Period.